Hey everyone, Jeff here, and today's a really exciting day because the first movie that I've ever been a producer on is now officially available to watch and purchase. If you've been following me along on Instagram and TikTok, you may have seen this. I posted it on the YouTube community as well. But I've been working as an associate producer on a film called Mudbrick, which is a new folk horror movie distributed by XYZ Films and Gravitas Ventures, directed by Nikola Petrovich. It's his first English language feature. So it's one of those really cool folk horror movies like The Witch or The Wicker Man or, Midsommar, where it's a bit of a slow burn, but it builds a ton of really interesting folklore from Slavic history into the story. It deals with generational trauma. It has some excellent performances and a couple of twists that I'm sure you're not going to see coming. So I've been working behind the scenes as an associate producer. I came on kind of later into the project after it was completed, but I've been helping them with the release plan and some of the promotion, obviously using my platform, but also working directly with the director, Nikola Petrovich, on some promotional plans and how we can get the word out about his film. And it's just been really interesting to get sort of that behind the scenes look and work on a movie pre-release and really talk in depth about the way that this industry works, and especially for indie movies, how it all comes together, how the financials work, how all the behind the scenes stuff is going on, which is cool for me because someday, this may be something I want to do more of, produce more films, get more involved in the marketing promotion side, potentially get involved in the actual, creation of the movie, maybe do something myself someday. So it was a great learning experience, but also just super happy to have had a hand in this and be able to say, hey, whatever small part of it that I am a small part of the film. So I think you guys will enjoy Mudbrick if you like that sort of folk horror. This is definitely a new angle on it, but it's a quick movie. It's under 90 minutes, so it's a nice, easy watch. It's not a slow burn that takes, 3 hours to come together. It does cover a lot of ground in 90 minutes. It has excellent performances. There's some actors you may recognize in this, like Andrew Howard, but it's also beautifully shot. The cinematography and the setting of this film in the Slavic countryside, just really, really well done. The cinematography is excellent, and there's some really stunning visuals in this film. So I don't really want to spoil too much because there's definitely some twists and there's definitely some turns and there's definitely some, some discussion that I think people will be having after they watch this movie. But I thought it was really well done, and that's, what initially got me interested when Nicola reached out and he was like, hey, I'm making this film. Here's the trailer. Would you be interested in reviewing it? And, of course, I'm like, yeah, I'll take a look. I get those, emails a lot, to be honest, about, hey, check out my film, the indie film, and I can't cover all of them, but I watched his trailer and I immediately was hooked because I do love folk horror. I have the, the Severin Blu-ray box set that has a ton of folk horror in it. And I love films like The Witch and Wicker Man, Midsommar, Hereditary, The Dark and the Wicked, Black Coat's Daughter. I love like a real slow burn, atmospheric, just kind of chilling story. And I don't know if it's something about like me growing up in New England and all the kind of folklore around here and, witches and the witch trials and all the folk horror that exists in this region. It's a big influence on like why Robert Eggers, who's also from New England, was born in New Hampshire, makes films like The Witch and The Lighthouse and now Nosferatu. Like I think there's something about this area, but it immediately connected with me. And so that's when I was like, hey, is there any way I could get more involved in this, get more heavily involved? And, at the end of the day, like my name isn't going to be in the credits because that was all locked before I got involved, but I'm on IMDb. If you look up Mudbrick on IMDb, I'm there. I'm an associate producer. We'll see if it eventually comes to streaming services. Potentially, I'll be able to get my name on it in the credits. I don't think it'll be on the Blu-ray or anything else, but either way, that's not really about like getting my name on something. It's just the fact that I got to work on something. I got this great experience and it was a ton of fun to learn. So if you want to support by buying Mudbrick, you're supporting me, obviously first. You're supporting an indie horror filmmaker who I'm very passionate about the indie horror scene, and there's tons of options. So you can obviously watch it on digital and you can buy it or rent it. It's on all your platforms. It's on Apple, Fandango, Vudu, YouTube, TV. It's everywhere you'd buy a movie. It's on cable and stuff like that. But the other cool thing is, and we weren't sure if this was going to happen or not, there is already a Blu-ray and DVD release, which is being manufactured and will be available on December 17th. So I'm making this video on December 13th. Many of you won't see it till after the 17th. If you order it today, you can pre-order it. It ships out starting on the 17th, but that's going to be available pretty much right away. So if you don't want to do the digital thing, or maybe you want to rent it and then buy the Blu-ray, spend the $4 and buy the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is $18, the DVD is a little bit cheaper, but you can basically own that by, it'll probably get to you before Christmas, and you'll be able to add this movie to your collection. So if that's your preferred method of watching movies, which I know a lot of you who watch this channel, that would be, that is an option as well, which is cool, because at first I thought it was going to be digital, and then we were going to have to roll out physical media, a few months later and get into streaming. But right now we're going to have digital and physical media available at essentially the same time. So all those links will be down in the video description if you want to pick that up. It again supports me, supports indie horror. I'm getting a tiny, admittedly very tiny piece of this, very small, but more than that, it supports an indie horror filmmaker who I believe in and who I think has a bright future. If you watch this, I don't know how it doesn't remind you of something like Robert Eggers would have done with The Witch, and where he is now. Like, I think Nicola has that potential based on this film, and if it gets enough eyes on it, hopefully it gets him some more budget on the next one and some more attention on his filmmaking, because I think he is really talented. And again, I get a dozen emails like this a week with somebody wanting me to promote their film, and very rarely do I watch a trailer and go, wow. And that's what happened when I watched Mudbrick. So if you want to support digital rental, digital purchase, Blu-ray, DVD, it's all available. Go buy it. Go support indie horror. Add it to your collection. I think you guys will really like it. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. You can send me an email, DM, leave a comment here. I'll also pin all of the links in the top comments, so it's easy for you guys to access, but it'll be in the video description as well. So thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Keep watching great movies. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I'll talk to you all soon.